Welcome to the Alcohol Ink Art Conference Fall 2022. This year we thought it'd be fun to kickstart the event with a couple of challenges. This one is our first challenge and will run through August 31st. We are calling it the Plastic Wrap Challenge. The Plastic Wrap Challenge is meant to have fun with an old technique that we've used for years. In the challenge, we place a piece of plastic wrap over alcohol ink on a surface to create really fun and interesting patterns. In this video, I demonstrate the technique, but feel free to make it your own. Also, please read the guidelines for the challenge. Over the next 2 weeks, we will be randomly giving out prizes to those who participate. Hi there, you ready to have a little fun? We're going to work on the back side of photo paper. This is going to be our challenge, and this is going to be something that everyone can do. It's easy, it's fun, and very quick. It does take some patience because you got to give it some drying time. So we're going to use some plastic wrap, and we're going to use some alcohol ink. I actually pulled out my starter set from T-Rex. If you haven't tried T-Rex, they really do make some really nice colors and fun, and this is a fun sort of starter set. I actually have a couple of their sets now, but you can use any alcohol ink. Ranger works, you can use the Jacquard inks, whatever it is that you have. It doesn't matter, just have some nice vibrant colors. What I would recommend that you do is keep the color palette very simple. So either use 2 colors or 3 color combo. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a 3 color combo and the 2. The first one I'm going to start out with some primary colors, because I think that will do really well with this effect. I know. And I'm going to put down a drop of each of these in different sections. So I'm going to take the lids off first and have them sitting here ready. Okay. So I'm going to start with the yellow. And this is actually called Bellini Orange. So I'm going to drop down a couple of drops of this. And then I'm going to take this color here is the Shiraz Red. Put some of that down. Just let it bloom and do its thing. And then over here, I'm going to use the Deep Sea Blue. A few drops of that. Now, while it's still wet and flowing, I'm going to take a piece of plastic wrap. So I'm going to just cut myself off a piece of plastic wrap here. And I don't want it to be perfect or anything like that, but I'm going to lay the plastic wrap on top of my ink, and I'm going to smush it around. And I'm going to try to actually do it so that my whole piece of paper here is covered. Kind of move the ink around and play with it that way a bit, so I get good coverage on my paper. And then when I kind of have everything covered good, I'm just going to crunch it up quite a bit more to give it texture. And then I'm going to press down on it just like that. And now that I have that. So this effect is going to put all these textures in here, but you have to let it dry completely, and that means you have to let it dry overnight. So I'm going to set this one aside, and I'm going to do one more. So let me take out another piece of paper, and I think on this next color scheme, put my lids back on here real quick so that I don't spill my ink everywhere. And let's see, on the next one I'm going to do this pink. This is a grape, dragon fruit pink, and I am going to do a purple, which the amethyst will make a good purple. Actually, you know what, and I'm going to actually throw in a little bit. I was going to do the Deep Sea Blue, but I'm going to do this Glacier Blue instead. So I'm going to actually do 3 colors again, but this blue and this pink make purple, so it's actually going to kind of just blend together nicely, I think, because they do blend together. So notice I used the primary colors on the first one because I knew that they play well. If you use complementary colors, they're going to make mud, and that's not going to be desirable unless you're going for that look. I'm actually this time going to put a little bit on opposite ends here. I take my Glacier Blue, drop some of that on here, decent amount. I'm going to also take my Amethyst, put a few drops. It's kind of darker and will kind of overpower the others, so I'm not going to put as much of it. And I'm actually going to take a little bit of this blue and put it over here on this edge. And it looks like I need some right in here too. Okay. So I'm letting the ink move around a little bit. Now I'm going to actually take another piece of plastic. Cut it off. It might help if you have that ready to go beforehand, instead of waiting till you have your ink down on the paper. Alright, so I'm going to just lay this right on top and just make sure I have coverage over my whole piece, and just go ahead and scrunch together the pieces, manipulate it how you want. I have seen people do these twisties where they just kind of like put their hand in and do this little number. It mixes the ink and it actually adds some really cool texture to it. So you can manipulate it any way you want. So there I have that one. So what we're going to do now is we're going to let this dry overnight, and then we're going to come back and peel back and see what we get and maybe have some inspiration. Okay, here we are the next day, and these paintings have dried. This plastic wrap technique is just one of my favorites. It's just so fun. Nothing super crazy about it as far as technique. You pull off the paper the next day, and it leaves all this really cool texture and design in there. You can do a lot of things with that. You can leave it like it is. Sometimes they're pretty cool like that. Or you can come in and do some doodles. And I'll do a little demonstration on some doodles, but let's look at this one first. So here's this one. Let me pull back on that one to reveal what we have. Ooh, now that's some really cool texture on that one. So much fun. So I just thought it would be a fun challenge for us all to play around, kind of warm up and get ready for the conference with this really fun technique. So pull out your plastic wrap, pull out your favorite substrate and a couple of bottles of ink, and experiment and see what you get. Okay, so you could get started now. Create your plastic wrap creation for the challenge. I am demonstrating just how I add some doodle accents on top, so I encourage you just to use your creativity and come up with whatever ideas you have. In this time lapse though, I'm using, just in case you're curious, I'm using a double-sided Sharpie, black Sharpie, and I'm also using a white Posca pen. Those are my two favorite tools for doodling on top of alcohol ink. So let's have some fun, and I can't wait to see what you create. Make sure you check out the guidelines for the challenge so that you know exactly how to participate, because there will be prizes, and to be entered you'll need to make sure that you use the right hashtags and post in the right places. So I can't wait to see what you do. Thanks.
Share with us, it's a life-changing opportunity. Excite the artist within.